I won't make a deal with Trudeau. I won't make a deal with Andrew Scheer. Bernier is too lazy. He won't be able to be successful. We must impose a pipeline, less refugees and less reunification of family. Andrew Scheer is a weak leader. This party won't do anything on climate change. And Justin Trudeau will win because of Maxime Bernier. Actually, I don't agree with that.
Is Maxime Bernier going nowhere, or is he heading to 24 Sussex Drive? Is the new People's Party of Canada destined for the dustbin, or will it be a new part of Canada's political firmament? I sat down with Bernier the other day to discuss all of these issues and more, tackling immigration, supply management, climate change, and some recent controversies. So Max, it's no small feat to start a new political party on a national scale. How's it going so far? You got a few months until the writ is dropped, until the campaign starts?
Actually, it's going very well, and you're right saying that it is a very big challenge. But I'm very happy up to now. We were able to have 338 riding associations all across the country. We did that before the end of December. And now we have to approve all these riding associations, and Election Canada must do the same. So this month, in February, we are doing that. And I hope that every riding association will be approved by Election Canada before the end of February. And after that, we will work with these riding associations to find candidates. It is important to have good candidates, and I count on them to look for candidates for us. So, but I didn't expect to have, after 5 months, more than 35,000 members and riding association all across the country. That was a goal, but I think people appreciate the ideas, and they're coming to us because of our platform, because of our principles, and that's why we are able to build this party.
What happens if you wake up October 2019, morning of Election Day, and you say, oh, Justin Trudeau's Prime Minister, partially because of me? Okay. How are you going to feel about that?
Yeah, no, that can happen, but for me, Andrew Scheer was not able to win against Justin Trudeau when I was with him. If you look at the polls, at that time, he was always behind Justin Trudeau from 6 to 8 points. And now I'm not with him, and Andrew Scheer is still behind Justin Trudeau in the poll by 2 to 3 points. So Andrew Scheer is a weak leader. Andrew Scheer was...
that's within the margin of error, though. How does that make you a weak leader? I mean, Jagmeet Singh, he's down in the nothings, so you can say he's a weak leader there.
No, he's a weak leader because he wasn't able to win when I was with him, and he's not able to win if you look at the poll right now. So, but he's a weak leader because they don't have any conviction. People are coming with us because of the ideas, because of our conviction. We don't do any survey or focus group or polling. We don't believe in that. But Andrew Scheer and the Conservative, they want to be a centrist and a pragmatic party. And this Andrew Scheer said that in December here at the editorial board with the Sun Media. He wants his party to be a centrist, pragmatic, with lots of ideas for lots of different people. So,
and what's wrong with that?
He tried to please everybody. That's why he tried to please everybody, and I'm not like that. We are following our principle: individual's freedom, personal responsibility, respect, and fairness. And if you're a real conservative who believes in free market, you must be against the cartel of supply management. You must be against crony capitalism. You must be against corporate welfare. But he is not. He tried to please everybody, and the platform it is not coherent, and they are not ready to go out with their platform because they still have survey and polling to do. So we are speaking from what we believe, and we are saying what need to be said about this country. So that's why I don't have some support of some conservative because of, maybe Bernier can win some seats, but at the end, Justin Trudeau can be Prime Minister. But what I'm saying, I'm doing my best, and we have a momentum. And maybe we can have the balance of power. And if we have the balance of power, maybe we can be the opposition. We don't know what can happen. And
you will prop up a Justin Trudeau minority. If you have 3 or 4 seats, and that's what he needs. You'll make a deal with Trudeau.
I won't make a deal with Trudeau. I won't make a deal with Andrew Scheer. My goal right now is to be the Prime Minister. You know what happened in France? Macron was a socialist 11 months before the presidential election, and he quit his party, formed a new party, and now he's president of France 11 months before the presidential election. Everything can happen. So what I'm saying, I will stick to our principle and to our philosophy or to our platform. So if something happens and we have the balance of power, and it is a conservative government or a liberal government, if they want our support, they will have to go on and take some of our policies. That will be a condition.
What is your policy on immigration and multiculturalism?
Yeah, on immigration, we want just to go back to have the same numbers of immigrants that we had under Stephen Harper, so 250,000 a year. So we're the only party who want fewer immigrants. And all the other parties, the Liberal, the Conservative, the NDP, they want to increase that. We want to have 250,000 a year new Canadians, but the most important, the ratio. We want more economic immigrants because we need that in this country.
That's already the vast majority, though.
But actually, Trudeau changed the ratio right now. They increase the immigration number from 250 to 350 next year, so an increase of 40%.
Right.
And but only 6% of Canadians agree with that. So 49% of them are saying we want fewer immigrants. So we are respecting them, but we want a ratio that would be more economic immigrant, less refugees, and less reunification of family. So that's our policy on immigration, and we want that because it's easier for a person who's coming to Canada when they have a job to integrate our society. It's better for that person and it's better for the country. So we want people who will come here, share our Canadian values, Western civilization values. So we don't want the challenges that is happening right now in Europe with their immigration system. That's why we need to question that right now, and we're doing that. So that's our immigration policy. And when I'm saying about Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, pandering to every special interest group or special communities, we won't do that. For us, you're a Canadian first. And, I was in Calgary. I had a discussion with Canadian ladies from origin from China. And I told her, you're a Canadian, so you're not a Chinese Canadian. You're a Canadian. And she said, yes, I'm a Canadian. I want to be part of that society. So that extreme multiculturalism, it's always focusing on the differences of people. Yes, I'm a French Canadian. I'm a little bit different. But we must focus on what unites us. And that is what is building a strong country. And when Justin Trudeau said, diversity is our strength, I'm saying the opposite. No, it's unity. And that's why I don't like the government is always giving money to celebrate some different, if you're, a Chinese Canadian and it's a Chinese New Year, you will give money to the Chinese community to have a celebration. So why? It's not the role of the state to do that. We must promote our culture, we must promote our heritage, we must promote what unites us. And the Trudeau government is not doing that right now.
When you talk about culture and you talk about heritage, a lot of people, they'll say, well, that means actually this, and that means that. They want to fill in the blanks. What do you mean by promoting our culture and our heritage? What is our culture and heritage?
First of all, we believe in the rule of law, tolerance in our country, equality before the law, equality between men and women, freedom of speech. In the campuses and being able to express what we believe in without any fears. And same thing also with our heritage. This country has been built with Francophone and Anglophone, and we must know our culture, and people must be proud of that. And after that, we had immigrants from Europe, and after that, we had immigrants from Asia. So that's all part of our culture and heritage, and we must celebrate. And people came here because of this freedom and these values, so that's what we must celebrate.
One other issue that we're hearing all politicians at all levels, municipal, provincial, federal, go on about is climate change, carbon taxes, some sort of environmental policies, global warming. I almost feel like it's the only issue in public policy debates today. How much of a priority of that issue will it be for you?
I was very clear about that, and we are honest with Canadians. this party won't do anything on climate change at the federal level. Actually, the Trudeau government right now, they won't do anything on climate change in Quebec because Quebec, they have a cap and trade policy. So they will impose a carbon tax on provinces that didn't deal with climate change. So our position is we won't do anything at the federal level. We won't impose a carbon tax. I know that Andrew Scheer won't impose a carbon tax also. But contrary to Andrew Scheer, we won't impose regulations and giving subsidies to fight climate change. So we are saying, provinces can do that. Environment, it's a shared jurisdiction with provinces, so they can have their own policy. We won't add something at the federal level, contrary to the Trudeau government and the Scheer conservative. But at the same time, we know that people can be preoccupied with the environment, and we must have something on the environment. And I think the most important for Canadians, we will have a plan for clear water, clear lake, and we want people to be able to swim in their lakes, to fish in their river. So we'll have a policy to clear lake and water, and so that will be our focus, but not on climate change. We think that provinces can do that if they want to do it.
Where's the People's Party of Canada going to stand when it comes to foreign affairs? One of the key jobs of a federal party, and a job that you previously held as Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, actually, we on the Global Compact on migration, I was the first leader of the political party in Ottawa to say I don't believe in that, we won't sign that. We need to control our immigration system. And I know that this agreement is not binding, but at the end, you need to change your own regulation to be in line with that agreement. So, and we won't do that. I think we need to control our immigration system like we did in the past. So that's why I said I'm against that. And a couple of months later, Andrew Scheer said the same thing because they were doing polling and they knew that it was popular. So that's their way to do politics. It's very different than us. We don't do any polling. It's all based on our principles. So for that, our position is very clear. For foreign aid also, we're the only party that said we'll stop to give money to other countries, like to fight climate change. The Trudeau government is giving $2.3 billion to African countries to fight climate change. We won't do that.
All foreign aid, because we spend, like $6 billion per year on this?
Yeah,
will it all be canceled?
Not all. Canada will be there if there's a humanitarian crisis, will be there if there's an environmental disaster, will be there. But it is not our role to give money to build a road in Africa. It is not our role to give money to other countries to fight climate change. It is not our role to give money to a bank, international bank in Asia that the Chinese government will control to develop roads in other countries. So, and we can save around $5 billion there. So that's very different than the other political parties.
Should we pull out of the Paris deal? Because part of being in that deal means we also have to give something like $200 million into their fund.
That deal, it's a way to redistribute money to other countries. And yes, I won't be part of the Paris Agreement. But if provinces want to do something, they're free to do what they want to do on climate change. But for us, that's not important. We don't want to, we don't have clear water on reserve. And we want to spend money in other countries. So let's help Canadians first. We call our party the People's Party. So we are working for the people and putting people in front of all our policies.
Well, moving from policy to people, one person in your party generated some headlines the other day. I received a press release from people I know at B'nai B'rith Canada, and they were looking into Martin Mass, who's your senior advisor and sort of a right-hand man. I think he's worked with you for a while, and they found a number of writings that he'd done. They said, we have a problem with what Martin's writing and saying. We're concerned that he's anti-Semitic or even misogynistic, they say. He called Zionism just another fancy justification for killing and displacing Palestinians. Some people said you should distance yourself from Martin, you should fire him. What is your response to these issues that B'nai B'rith is raising?
Actually, the leader of that organization called me before that being public, and he said to me, we'll go public if you don't fire Martin Mass. And I said, what do you have? And they took a lot of his quote that he wrote 15 years ago, 20 years ago, out of context. And don't forget, that guy is a conservative activist. He was a candidate for the Conservative Party of Canada in the general election in 2004 and 2006. So I think, the Conservative Party, they're a little bit afraid of us, because...
So this is a hit job, a neighbor of Canada doing the work of the Conservative
But it's too
Party.
bad that he's using that organization to do that. It's all false, it's all ridiculous, and Martin Mars answered that very clearly. And so, but in this party, there's no place for racist people. And I'm very strong about that. I said that in the beginning, we have a policy on immigration that is clear. We were not open borders, and we're not also for no immigration. So we have
a couple of those lines are, though, he says, Zionism, a justification for killing Palestinians. I mean, they're, not good lines. So you say there's no place for intolerance, but then, how do you respond to these?
Well, first of all, you must read all the full piece that he wrote 15 years ago. And if you read that, you'll see that they tried to put everything and a sentence in a different piece and another one and try to make a case and saying that he's a racist person. And Martin Mars, they said that he's anti-gay. But you know that Martin Mars is a gay guy? So it's crazy, ridiculous, and everything is false. And they use, the Conservative Party of Canada use that organization, and the director of that organization is a conservative activist. So, and I think at the end, it's a good news for us, because they're doing a lot of polling, as you know. And maybe we're doing better than the poll that you say publicly. And they're so afraid of us that they try to discredit our movement. But it is not working. We're in 2019, and people can read what Martin Mars wrote, and they will see by themselves that this person is a great Canadian.
There's a tweet that you just put out that everybody's already opining in and weighing in on. You said, you talked about government-sponsored leftist logic, and you say wearing clothes from another ethnic group, wrong, white with dreadlocks, wrong, blackface, wrong, men building pipelines, this is all cultural appropriation, racism, toxic masculinity, but men wearing female dress and makeup, that's okay, that's diversity. And I think one thing that people looked at, they said, well, are you saying blackface is okay, or it's a good thing?
I don't have any opinion about black faces. What I'm saying, I'm laughing at the left. I'm laughing at the left about the cultural appropriation and political correctness. So that's all. The tweet is all about that. And you have. It's a free country, and we have free speech here. And I'm able to say that, and I hope that people understand that tweet. It's about the left people and the leftists and the people on the left. We're not able to. Diversity, it's all about extreme diversity. Diversity is good, but when we're doing something different, maybe it's cultural appropriation. So where is the line? So that's, I was writing, where is the line? And laughing about the left on that tweet.
You prepared, you ready to go coast to coast, all across the country. What'll probably be a pretty messy, nasty campaign, fighting not just Justin Trudeau, but also Andrew Scheer.
Yeah, for me, we are ready. We have the platform. I started to campaign when we started to create that party. So yes, today I will campaign with our candidate in a by-election in New York Simcoe, and I will travel across the country. I did that before Christmas. And yes, I'm campaigning right now until the 21st of October. We have our platform, we have our ideas, and yes, I'm ready, and it's a big challenge. And for us, the campaign will be positive. It's all about positive ideas. Maybe they don't want to discuss the traditional party, the pipeline issue. I'm the only politician who said, if we don't have an agreement, we need to be able to build pipeline in this country. If we don't have an agreement with a province like Quebec or BC, we must impose a pipeline. We must use the Constitution, Section 9210. It's a provincial jurisdiction and responsibility, and we must be able to build pipeline in this country. I'm the only one. Andrew Scheer was on TV in French, and he was not able to say that. So I'm saying the same thing in French in Quebec or in New Brunswick.
So how do you build Trans Mountain then? Because it seems like everybody wants it to be built. Well, not the protesters. How do you
well, first of all, you privatize it. First of all, a People's Party government will privatize it and will abolish the Bill C-69, will scrap the Bill C-48, and will streamline the process, for the regulatory process to approve a pipeline. And at the end, after consultation, we need to take a decision. And if we have a province that is against that, a provincial government, will use the Constitution and declare that a pipeline for the advantage of our country.
Maxime Bernier, it sounds like you have a very busy 6 months ahead of you. Thanks for stopping by Post Media HQ.
Thank you, Denis. I appreciate that. Thanks.